will sleep better than you have ever slept. You've never been this relaxed. Are you ready to change your life? I'm Rusty Diamond, certified hypnotist. You don't need to leave your house. You can stay in your bed. You can stay in your favorite chair. You just need a computer or your phone. You can get a hold of me. Stay at home. I'll make your life better.
Hypnosisisgreat.com.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man. Oh, Miss Rusty, what's up, everybody? It is Thursday here, and welcome to the Public Access Podcast, the podcast, because we're in Pennsylvania out of Intercourse here today. What is happening, everyone? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Rusty Diamond. I'm just the host. I'm like, it's like Jeopardy, man. The people that are the contestants are the stars. People on here that are the stars. I'm just the host, like Alex Trebek. And now Ken Jennings. Shout out to them. Hopefully they're listening. I don't know how Alex is going to listen, but hopefully Ken's listening. So thank you everyone for being here on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. I'm going to bring on my special guest right here and right now. And my special guest right here and right now is Skin and Bones. There he is.
What's up with it, man? In motion, man.
Cool.
Yeah, give me 1 second because I have to take a leak. 1 second.
Sure. Okay. So that's what's happening right now. Might be a first of the show. So hopefully it's not on and it turns into one of those. I mean, they've done it on a few things. I think it was, I want to say it was a Naked Gun 2.5. They do that. And could be on some other stuff. It's always a good gag, but not happening today. So, but yeah, thank you everyone. Oh, we lost him. Maybe he's going to come back. But in the meantime, I can talk about anything here. So, yeah, I got some snow today. Hopefully, it's not snowing if he's outside there, but it's probably pretty cold. So, I met this guy through Jonathan Powell. Shout out to Jonathan Powell for putting this episode together. Good guy, man. Good guy. Stuck up for me. And I appreciate that. So, but yeah, so I think there we go. We got Skin and Bones. Oh, I can't hear him. So we got someone, but I can't. Hopefully he can see that I can't hear him right now. Let's see if I can put this in the chat. Can't hear you. So, well, hopefully he sees this and he's not just talking. Man, how can I do this? See if he can, like, I can go like this and see if I can get him to be like, hey, I can't hear you. He's looking around. I need him to look at the screen. Maybe he'll see it, but I can't hear you. Oh, there it is.
So what I was saying was, we out in the mix of it all. We keep it gangster, we keep it punk rock, we keep it thug hop. And I was just showing y'all like the surroundings. Like just because you do music and you're some part of some type of cult following or something like that, so-called celebrity. That don't have nothing to do with really being in the mix of it. If you in the mix of it, you're in the mix of it. If you ain't, you're not.
So then what would you say is the, I mean,
Like
because
your
like
You said, what would I
as,
say is what?
well, I mean, as far as, how you are, you said right there that you were like in the mix of it, but people who just because you're whatever are not really in the mix of it.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you mean by that? So, like, I don't know, because like, yeah,
I'm not here to judge nobody. What I'm getting at is that there's a lot of things that we can always do better. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we ourselves can do for ourselves. I mean, I just got to give it up to the BONE, Bone Thug, right, and Wu-Tang, because those are the guys that raised me. Danzig, the Misfits, you know what I'm saying? Bad Brains, you know what I mean? Those dudes raised me out here, bro. Like, to show me, because when I'm Caribbean, right, but I'm from the Midwest, so there was always this racial overtone about being so-called a white boy. Where I come from, white means royalty. So there really is no black. There is no white. There's only, are you Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian? Are you, Boricua? Are you Nova Scotian? Are you Veracruz? Are you Oaxacan? Are you Russian? Are you Chinese? Like, are you Asian? We don't get into all that other silly shit. Like, we really want blood out here when we moving, if we moving and grooving together. And that's what it's about.
and so you're in Indianapolis, right?
Right. And on the old maps, it's called Morocco, right? So it's like domestic. It's like domestic to the Morocco that everybody else knows. Just like Illinois is Mecca to what everybody else knows. It's like adjacent, even like when you think about Phoenix, Arizona, or Memphis, Tennessee, everything's adjacent to itself. Dualities.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what so I was talking with someone yesterday, and then they said that they told me she had a tattoo on her arm and like uses it, for when she's feels like she wants to, drop an elbow on someone. And it's like, but that's not me. But I'm like, I'm a lover. But you have to be both. There's that duality of like, you can be a lover, but then if you're a lover at the same time, you do have to fucking drop an elbow on shit at some other point of it. And there is the duality of anything. And um so I mean, like, when you're out, uh like, where are you writing? Are you writing, or like, are you writing in your head? And then
Well, I'm one of the first original mumble rap singers. You can do your research. I'm sure you have, because you seem like a diligent guy. And shouts out to the southern Calhoun, man, that connected us, man. I love him. That's my little big brother. He's a big guy because he was out in the streets for 10 years. It was a few years longer than me, because I did that off and on, but he did it consistently. So he's got a big heart.
yeah,
We want to give that out to him. But the thing is that I'm a poet by nature. So the original mumble rap singers, or rap singers that they called mumblers, because we would staccato our flow, which comes from the Caribbean and Aboriginal dialects, and then you jumped into bebop and jazz. Like, it kind of spread like that. So your Lil Uzi Verse, your Young Thugs, your Johnny Cinco's, your Kings from New Orleans, like all of that rap style, it comes from us, the Aboriginal Caribbeans, And so I don't really always have to write, because like a rock singer or a punk rock singer, which I'm a part of the G-punk community still after all these years, it's in essence, it's evanescence. It's not something I need to think about. It's something I need to be about. It's something that I need to live, and not something that I just need to talk. My words are a manifestation of my thoughts. My thoughts should be a manifestation of my lifestyle, regardless of what kind of lifestyle it is.
I mean, your lifestyle is you, and people are going to get the most real, reaction, and what there's, it's, I mean, if you're some sort of performer, I mean, the ideal way to do it is to take exactly what is you, and then, turn it up to whatever 10, 11, and I mean, because yeah, no one's going to be a better version of you than you. No one has that same story that you have.
Right. I
It's your
mean,
story.
and like
Yeah.
I said, anytime I get on an interview, I jack the fuck out of Wu. I jack the fuck out of Bone, because I was just looking at some shit, man, and I'm damn near in tears every time I can give credit to the individuals that brought me to the dance, man, because like in my lifetime, I was around for Guns N' Roses, Skid Row, Too Short, and NWA. That's how we grew up, man. That's punk, man. That's gangster. That's how we grew up. And then to see the BONE, the Brothers on Normal Elimination, is the new NWA for this day and time. It's insane what Danzig and the Misfits and the Bad Brains did, man. What Fushniks did, man. What Minor Threat did for our communities out here, bro. Us fighting the revolution of equality to be unified, man. When we are brothers and sisters, there is no color, man. To see that in my lifetime is insane, man. My son, Namanuel Uramio Yamin, to be that guiding light, to break those barriers in a place like, Indiana where we are, like, because you got to think, we're surrounded by Kentucky, Michigan, Illinois, Ohio. And out of all those surrounding areas, this motherfucker is the most posh, most stick in the ass. And for us to be able to break through and have an opportunity to bring a whole nother level of the essence of communicating with those greater beings and greater powers and forces that held the light, man. I'm just belated to be in any area or arena where I can shine my light for all you beautiful people. And I mean that, man. I mean that.
And so, I mean, when you're going through town, what are you like? The people around you when you're walking around, what's kind of the feel of the other people like?
Everybody is soul searching, man. Like right now, like this is fairly new for Indianapolis, which is basically like it's like Heliopolis, for Greece, and people are soul searching, man. Like I'm like a miniature celeb, and I'm still a part of the people. I still do corporate operations and things, and people are soul searching, man. Like when you see these little ladies out here, man, like they're soul searching. Like they don't, they think that if they know you now and they were to see you on TV later, you would give them the same love. But you have to see the forest for the trees. And somebody like me, I want to be known for this. I want to be seen like this. What they're seeing, they don't know what I'm doing, but you guys know. And then online, it's like it's a whole nother world, because it's an extension of historical factors. So I can walk amongst them as a Ashua or I can walk amongst them as a shaman, a fellow individual. I can walk amongst them as a brother or a friend. So yeah, when it comes down to that, it's just like a revelation of who's who and who's not, what's what and what's not. That's all it is, man. It's like really digging into the skinny of what is life, what is reality. And that's what I live for. I live for bringing reality to individuals. Like all of this social media hype, because one person posts 90 pictures, that don't make you a digital creator. That don't make you this or that. Like what you're doing when you had your store. I did just a tiny little, when you had your store, you're giving back to your people. You did that. You can say you did that and you made an impact. A lot of individuals take 5 pictures and they think just because they got 100 likes that day, that they're important to everyone. It's good to be important to somebody, but until you learn what the world is about, you cannot touch anybody. So got to learn what this work is really about. And it's about communication, cooperation, and some coordination. So that's why I can walk. I can swag this out. I can split the maxi tread, and I can really be me, and I can really be the one walking between the roads. Like when I'm spitting my shot at a sister or a female, I do it like on this kind of an environment. That's down to earth. Like when she's wearing her work clothes, and I want to take her out to dinner. She knew I did it because it was about her. It wasn't because she had blingage or because she had a bright lipstick on. It was because she was being herself with $100, $50,000 or $250,000 in the bank. That's my life, and that'll forever be my world.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you meet the most of the people. Like, if you can drive around town, or you can go and take pictures of whatever. Like, you're in whatever fucking, I don't know, like a monument or whatever is the thing that people all take pictures of, and like just kind of go past it. But if you're like walking as opposed to driving, or going, like, you're walking and you're sitting down, like if you sit down on the fucking, on the, not on a bench, if you sit down on a fucking, on a curb, man,
Like a stoop or
that's
something, like a bench.
what.
You said like a stoop or something. If I'm just sitting around type.
Yeah, or whatever. And like that's when you're gonna really understand, like, that you're in your spot, you're like where you're supposed to be.
Like the
And
thinking
like,
man, like the thinking man in that stone. He's just sitting there like that. Yeah, that's me,
yeah,
man.
yeah. And the people that are gonna come to you are gonna come to you. And the people that are flying around doing whatever, like, they probably aren't gonna stop anyway.
Can I tell you a secret story about Skin and Bones, man?
Yep.
Let me tell you something. I've never owned a conveyance in my life. I've drove cars, but I've never owned one, because when I came from a smaller county in the city, I wanted to prove to myself back in the 80s and the 90s that I could do it. I could go against the grain and still go some of the finest women, that I could still be somebody. And I'm here to tell you, I did it. Rusty Diamond, we did that. We proved that you don't need these things they say you need to be somebody. I'm 7 people away from some of the richest, most profound, prolific individuals in the world. And I did that. And I did it for all the little men, for the underdogs, to prove to them, you don't need that shit. I've had some of the prettiest, most smell good women in my bed. Multiple women knowing about each other. I didn't have to cheat. I didn't have to lie to date them. I just had to be myself. You hear me? That's all. I had to be myself.
And then you don't have to fucking worry about trying to do something to impress somebody, or trying to put on an act every time.
Man. It's too much work to be lying to chicks just so they like. That's a lot of work, man, to be lying to women so they can be your friends. That's a terrible existence, man. I'm not living.
And then they're gonna find out. They're gonna find out eventually, because
of
course, yeah, it's not like a woman is not gonna find out about something. It's
right.
Just kind of the nature. And like, yeah, I don't know, because there was always that thing, I don't know, growing up, or being a young adult, of going to try to put on some act to, try to pick up. It's always been, oh, you better try to fucking put on something. And like those, but then those chicks are going to realize that that's not you at some point. But then if you're just out being yourself, you're in the
right.
They'll come to you. They'll come to you.
Right. And see, this is the thing too, bro. Like, everybody, I say ego is like a suit. Everybody needs an ego, man. Everybody needs to wear it for a little bit. Even females, they need that for confidence. But the last thing I want to do is see a female with a bunch of fake hair in her head. Like, I don't understand, like, in the urban community, why. See, this is the thing. Men like me don't care about that. Like, you're not fooling me, because what if we do something to Oogie Boogie and then I pull one of your weed pieces out? Like, it was never real to start with. So why don't you just wear your own hair? Because in the end, you're trying to be somebody, or you don't like yourself, or you're not happy with yourself. I'm going to see that, and I'm going to feel it.
That's
which means we're not going to be taking pictures together, because I don't want people thinking like that about me. Period.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, I mean, if you're being authentic with yourself, like, you expect whoever else is. And then, yeah, it's fucking, I don't know. I don't want to play the game. Plus, I don't want to wait around for a fucking hour while she's getting ready either every day, and have to worry about all that shit, dude. Like, I just want to fucking go get stoned and fucking go out and go do whatever, man. Like, let's go. let's go and do this. And
Let's just
yeah, I
see the
mean,
world, man. Let's see what's out there for us. And I've got a few, girls that know about each other. And my main squeeze, the centerpiece, I've been building her up to understand confidence, like to love yourself, not to be vain or to be prideful of yourself, but to really love yourself, to embrace your inner beauty, man. And I know y'all, whoever's watching, probably like, this dude got on just being an emotional wreck. No, man, it's real to me. My everyday life is my life. Nobody can negate that. That's why I'm an independent producer, label owner, and entrepreneur, because I control my fate, my destiny. I didn't depend on those brands to carry me the whole way. They gave me a few boosts. They gave me a pair of boots. I wear those boots sometimes. I put other boots on because I have my own shoes too. I didn't just depend on one pair of boots to get me somewhere.
yeah, dude, I mean, you have to have.
And to the point, let me prove it. These are my fresh good years, but I got good years of the same same style that I work in. So I didn't want to get my fresh pair dirty. So I got good years because I love the Goodyear brand. I have good years that I do work in and I just run around in. Then I got the good years that are real clean that I want to show off in. It's good for Goodyear as a brand because they got my money twice, and it's good for me because I can preserve a pair and not have to wear them twice.
And yeah, you don't have to get your nice pair dirty, man. You can fucking you know when to wear what. And I mean, yeah, when you're out like walking around everywhere, you have to think about that before you leave because it's not, you can't just, you don't have all that shit in your car. Maybe you have a backpack. I don't know if you carry around a backpack. I
I'm a
don't know if,
backpack guy. I just didn't wear it today because, normally I wear my backpack because I got business in there and it helps build my, it's the way I work out because I don't get to go to the gym. And I'm going to tell you, like in my private time, I'm doing bodyguard work and security work. Like that's what I do outside of this. And I've kind of been like, I've turned into like a bootleg Ken Shamrock, you know what I'm saying? Like for who's who. And so it's worked for me. So yeah, today was just one of those days where I didn't need to put no extra weight on my back. So, I'm out here free as a bird, flying like a hawk, a raven, a crow,
yeah. And yeah, it's, so then are your pockets pretty full? How full are your pockets?
Well,
Like,
right now,
that's the
actually, my
next,
pockets have been as light as they've probably been in a while because I just didn't need a lot. We're gonna go check our mail, check our PO box. We're gonna go and grab some hair stuff and get my hair done today. Then after we get off here with you guys, we got a few publishers because we write. We're doing some like graphic novel style writing that deals with like superhuman, supernatural, ultra natural type characters. I was really influenced by like Milestone Comics, earlier DC, The Watchmen, Malibu Comics, Image. I really took those guys to heart, how they did a lot of, things that where they kind of exploited the government, but also made it interesting to understand what America was really about. So I just take my spin from what I've learned and experienced throughout life, and I'm filtering it. And what makes it so beautiful for me, that I've translated over into full-fledged writing and being a semi-author, is that I can also make soundtracks for the books because who we are musically. We've got a vast catalog of unreleased music, and we've got music that's continuously being recorded. So when we drop these books, we can make our own songs for the characters, soundtracks. And when we had a short discussion with one of the publishers, they were really excited to see that we had already prompted and prepared to do this because we're going to go from the books. Novelays are probably going to have like 5 stories in it, stories even. Then we'll go from that once we start building up, that universe, metaverse, multiverse. Then we'll go into Audible type books, and then once we, get comfortable with that particular brand or niche, we'll probably go graphic and I will find some artists and give you guys I'll give you a biblios because what I want to do is do one-offs. I don't want to stretch it out with the people and milk their money. I'd rather give them like 10 full stories in a graphic novel that's maybe like half the size of a pseudepigrapha and then just call it a done deal. And if they lose it, they're F because they'll be limited, and if I do a second printing, the second printing instead of being less will be more because that means we had to go back and make another batch. So it's going to still be fair for the fans or the connoisseurs. I just love what everyone has done for for us artists, man, and the support they've given Bone Thugs and Wu-Tang and the punk community. I stand as a testimony to that genre of music and that era of music, even the dance music, even like CNC Music Factory, you know, even Donna Summers. Like, I just want to say for the new age kids, we love you guys, and I'm proof that being a celebrity is not hard. Being tied to the industry is not hard, but you have to pay your dues. You're not just going to get pulled in here by the hand and just hugged on. You got to show that you're ready to take a couple slaps across the face, and not necessarily by the producers or the engineers or the A&Rs or the labels themselves, but you got to pay your dues in this game. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're catching me right before the next wave. I'm going into my 2 Chain. I've already done my player circle and then my disturbing the peace, and now it's pulled up to the scene with the ceiling missing. Like, this interview is going to be one of the rarest interviews for me, because I'm coming back in a way that, you know, before, you know, going viral and Spotify was the thing. You got to understand, my label deal, I got deals where I got the 80-20. And eventually that label, which started in the room, doing 3 guys, Brandon, Brian, and Joe Bird, ended up getting bought out by Sony for $1 million. What Spotify was, man. Like, I'm a part of viral history in that sense. I'm a part of one of the few individuals to be brought into the Bone Thug La Costa Nostra and be around, and they up to this point they haven't disclaimed me, they haven't attempted to sue me or anything like that, and that's an honor, man. It's an honor to be a part of hip hop history. It's an honor, man. You know, I got a remix with Tupac and Busy that's never been pulled offline. I've got verses with Busy Bone I haven't released yet. And then when it was bought out by Sony, Meta Ray, you know, they put out our punk rock tapes when Sony didn't want to put us out. So shout out to Mr. Diamond from Meta Ray Records and Sony, man. And shout out to the Gods from the 60s. They're a 60s band that actually pushed our records through. So we've just had a lot of love, man. And that's why you see this, because we never thought in a million years that we do this. We just had a dream and a vision, and we weren't going to let nobody take it from us, you know?
Yeah. And it's still going at it, and still, I mean,
yeah, man.
So to go back a tiny bit, if you were doing a second release of something because all of it sold out, would you change anything to it, or would you release it the same? Would you think I can make improvements to it, or would you leave it as is and move on to something new?
Well, at this point, what we're doing now, we're doing something real special, Mr. Diamond. It's funny that your name is Rusty Diamond and one of our execs' name was Diamond too. So that's like an entendre or synchronicity, and I don't think it's happenstance, but because I love the term Diamond stands for anyway. But what we're doing right now is we're preparing a plethora of releases that are going to be some of the best songs viral, and in the formation of like a compilation of greatest hits. And people are going to get a mixture of some of the singles that we didn't think got enough flow or didn't get paid enough attention to, along with previously unreleased songs that were on mixtapes, because that PIP disabled their uploading enableability. So we'll be able to, what we're going to do is we're going to create a situation where people can get those songs again, and they'll be viral forever for as long as streaming is applicable. So yeah, we got Dream Blood, Don't F With Me. We got Benny Betty Beachy, which is another way to say Come See and Conquer. And there are about 20 songs a piece. We got the radio version Stars, which is like 20 songs of nothing but singles. Each song is crafted to be a single. So you're getting you're getting a double album of singles, as opposed to how in the label industry, they'll wait till they get like 5 albums deep. Whereas a lot of those singles are going to be fresh singles that we just wanted to be and alignment, because this is the era of playlists. So we said, instead of paying Spotify to playlist us, we'll make our own playlist and then release it that way.
Yeah, and then they're easy to find. And so when people want to find you, where are they going to go to find you, to download your music, to check out your work, to do whatever? Where are they going to go?
Well, the beautiful thing about being a semi-celebrity is, instead of having to depend on Spotify and all these bloated, inflated functions, we've been Googleable for quite some time. So you can go scan like it sounds, -N BONE $, and either put Bone Thug next to it, or put Rap Singer, RAP -SINGER, and it'll pop up, man. I mean, it's really that simple for us anymore. And that's why when people ask us about, are you on Instagram, are you on this and that, I don't get sucked into one aspect. Like, I'm on the verge of being ultra viral, brother, and it's going to happen overnight, but I willed that. I could have been viral a year ago. I could have been super viral, because I was viral back in 2010, 2011. When we first got inducted into Bone in 08, 09, and 2010, like, I had a taste of being viral. And all the interviews we've ever done with chamber music, shout out to G Clef, the mad composer, who's a jazz composer, as well as the first founding father of online distribution for Wu-Tang music. They're on the 30th year anniversary. I copped my chamber music shirt. So G Clef, man, a big name in the industry, the independent underground, upper ground industry. DJ Dragos, who made the Crossroads, the best friend and godfather to Lazy Bone and Bone Thugs and Harmony, and the founder of Boneyard Management, Mercedes Blaze, who helps manage Sugar Free. His right hand, the right hand's the Lazy Bone, and one of my close confidants, Black Caesar, Baby Phil, the upstarts and longtime runners with Busy Bone. All these people are people that I've been, usurped into, and had the ability to be with them in person or be long standing with them. So that's why, we don't have to worry about a lot of things, because when we went for that vision and that dream, we job shadowed these individuals. We presented ourselves to be a student, man. We presented ourselves to be a friend. We didn't present ourselves to be a Stan fan or to be a DICK writer, or we didn't do that. We came in humble and modest, and we really wanted to be their friend. We really wanted to love and to learn what it was that made them successful. And that's the only reason why we're still here today. We're not just here because our music is so great, or because we're such a good business person, because we've been terrible in a lot of things, but we've been great in others. And one thing that we're great in is being loyal, dedicated, and consistent with persistence. And that's what I give to all the independent artists or people who are doing podcasting or anything. Consistency, persistence, but being loyal and being dedicated is what's going to make it possible.
Yeah, I love it, man. Cool. Well, hey, thank you so much for being on and talking with me. And we should get you back on with Jonathan here at some point. Have you both on at the same time? It'd be cool.
That would be awesome, man. I love it. And, big ups to him, because he's a great brother. And I wish nothing but the best for him. He's kind of turned into like my god brother. And I'd almost beat somebody up for him, because he's a good soul. So all I can tell you guys is, I'll send you some of the records and stuff from time to time. You can post them or play them. But I wasn't even big on that. I just want to see what your platform was about. He recommended it, so I was like, let's go,
Cool. Yeah, dude, yeah. We said that I'm like, whoever you fucking bring me is good with me. So I gotcha. So cool, man. Well, hey,
we call him Yo Cannon. So shout out to Yo Cannon, man, the Southern headbanger. All right, man. You be safe, brother, and thank you for your time.
You too. Thank you. All right, that's Skin and Bones, dude. Hell yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't see the world if you're not like on the street walking around. That's where you find the world, man. That's what you stop and you sit on the curb. You don't sit on a bench or something. You sit on the curb. That's where you are. That's how and the people will come to you. You're good. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you very much on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. And that is the show, man. Boom.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.